This is the Ezra Walk and Talk. I got my co-host here. You know what it is. Please like, subscribe, all those good things. Leave comments, leave interactions. I'll comment back. We're going to talk about Ponce versus Matias in a fight that went exactly how I said it was going to go. Down to the mistake that Ponce made that would get him knocked out, which is him hunching over and not being able to take a shot on the inside. I called that 100% how it went, and I was 100% dead on. And it's putting me on a little run here, right? It's putting me on a little run here. Not only am I the best judge on boxing Twitter, but I'm also probably the best pre-fight breakdown on boxing Twitter. And I wear these crowns like that, one on each shoulder. But I want to talk about the run that Matias is on. And the type of fighter Matias is that you kind of have to get going with him. You right now you're in a hot streak with him. He's caught his stride, and with that style, right, and you have that stride, you got to make sure you give him the right fights. You can't delay anymore. You got to get big fights for him. And the big fights would be Progress. Big fight would be Russell. The winner of Puello Rolly, right? Those are the fights he needs to get. He doesn't need, he doesn't need an Alvis, right? He doesn't need Brandon Lee. He doesn't need those fights. He needs the biggest fights and the ones that are going to get paid him the most. Because right now, he's 30 years old. He's got some wars on him. He's got some wear and tear on him. But right now, he can, with his style, he's at his complete best of what he can be with that style. And he's still durable because once he gets broken, it's over. Once he gets broken, there's no coming back from it. So right now, they need to move him in the correct direction to get him the big paydays and to get him moving in his career to make the most noise. Now, Ponce, his corner throwing in the towel, he seemed very okay with it, if we're being honest. There was some, there was some talk on Twitter about, whether he's a quitter or, whether we're getting too comfortable with fighters just calling it quits in the middle of the corner. To me, it said all I needed to know, really, honestly. I don't, there's a lot of guys that say, oh, I'm willing to die for this. I get in that ring, I'm going to die for it. It's an easy thing to say, honestly. I'll die for this and everything. There's not a lot that actually would. Okay, there's not a lot that actually would. There's a lot of guys that you think would do it, they would not, right? They've got in that position where they actually have to risk their life, where they actually have to dig down deep, and they would not do it. I think my baby just fell. And they would not do it, okay? So I think that that it was going to go south for him in that fight. I think he knew it. I think he was broken. I think his corner knew it. And I'm okay with them stopping the fight. Because the truth is, right, is that he did get broken. That's all I needed to happen. He got broken. He said that, right? But as far as my questioning his heart, well, I don't need to question his heart because I know what his heart is. It's not the heart that I would die in the ring. But that's fine. You don't have to be the guy that dies in the ring. This is a sport. This is somewhat just like a job, a career. And you can just say, hey, you know what? I don't want to take that damage anymore. Now, with Ponce's style, does that encourage me going forward with him? No, not really. No, because his style is going to have to take some to give some. And if I know that he's already been broken, he's already kind of decided in his mind that there's someone that's willing to give out more than him, then I know that style is not going to really be effective against the really top guys when they're landing on him. But I'm okay with someone saying that that's enough. I don't need someone to die in the ring. I don't need someone to go out until they go to sleep. I don't need that. Now, we look forward to watch that stuff, but yes, that could happen, right? But if you just got bested, and he got bested, and he got broken down, that's as much as a knockout to me. If you go in the corner and you say, I don't want nothing to do with this anymore, that's as good as a knockout to me. I'm as impressed as if someone got knocked out cold. So I'm okay with that. I did want to talk about the Alves versus Adorno fight. I do think that needs to be talked about because I think I created a little bit of, a little bit of a pushback from what I said. And I said that maybe Adorno should retire after this fight. Maybe his team should call it quits. And I talked about this before about finding out early sooner than later, right? I'd rather find out early than sooner than later of what I am in my boxing career if I'm a boxer. And I think that Adorno knows who he is. I think his team knows who he is. I think everybody knows who he is. And if someone's going to have an honest talk with him and say, do you want to be a gatekeeper, right? Do you want to be a guy that's always going to lose at this level and not be able to get past the next level? And do you want to take that damage for money that's not going to be game-changing? Because everybody's saying, oh, well, he's got a job, he's got to make money, and, still got some paydays ahead of him. He's only 23. Well, these paydays are not game-changing. They're life-changing. They're not something you could retire on, okay? This is just money to keep you afloat. And even if maybe I even be that, there might be just normal jobs that honestly pay more than what he would get in his boxing career going forward. And you have to understand, I understand, boxing needs gatekeepers. That's fine. I mean, I guess boxing needs gatekeepers, but really, do gatekeepers really need to be boxing? That's the truth of it. That's what I'm really asking. I'm not looking at it from the fans' point of view, which really doesn't make sense to me either, because everybody gets mad when a fighter, when we get these tune-up fights or these stay busy fights, which Adorno's basically going to turn into, right? He's going to be a stay busy fight. Maybe on the off chance he's a tune-up fight for a guy like Keyshawn or something like that. But we in boxing, we don't even really want those, if you be honest with you. The gatekeeper and everything to me is like, it's not even the matches I really want to see. Or like, stay busy fight, what Adorno would be. But as far as his career, why does he want to be a gatekeeper? There's not enough money in it. Like, that's what I understand the gatekeeper. You're just lingering around when you really should just know, hey, there's nowhere to go. I'm not improving. There's no giant growth going to come, right? A lot of times when a guy, like, say if a guy develops late, it's because he's a raw talent, right? He's a raw talent. And he started late, and he's got room to grow because he's never boxed before. Like Sergio Martinez, he developed late because he started boxing late. And he had athleticism, and he had all those things, but it was going to take time to develop, right? So you knew that there could make huge leaps in his career because he was so raw. Adorno's developed. He kind of is what he is. Now, he's talented. I'm not denying that he's talented, but he just truly doesn't have that thing where he believes in his game, believes in his offense. He's not going to ever get that level. It's never going to connect for him. You got to remember, he has a decent chin, right? Even though it showed cracks the other day, but he still doesn't believe in it enough to create offense going. It's always the same thing with him. He doesn't believe in his offense. I said both these fighters, and I really believe Alves has a similar thing, have writer's block in boxing. They can't see the offense. They can't create the offense. They don't see the openings. They don't believe in their offense. So if you're Adorno and you're coming up short at this level, and you did it 2 times now, with the same exact performance, you kind of are what you are. And I think someone needs to have an honest talk with him and say, what do you want to be? Do you want to be in the sport if you're not going to be a top guy? What are we getting out of this to keep staying in the sport if I'm not going to be a top guy? Is a big payday coming being this gatekeeper for not even big names? Is that going to come? No, I don't believe so. So I think an honest conversation needs to be had. I think another great weekend of fights, another main event that delivered, whether you like the ending or not, still delivered great action up until that ending. Want to see where Matias goes. I hope they get him going now. And that's this week's Walk and Talk, man. Peace.